Hello, guys, and welcome back to Joe's Ventures. And today we've got another devlog from Saurian. So this is devlog 103. So some updates on the Rex and some other little things that we'll read through. I'm really excited to get stuck into this one. It won't take too long. So yeah, let's get started. Hey everyone! Since the last devlog, we were able to push the next patch live. So we want to thank all our wonderful bug hunters who helped us while in public testing. Thank you guys, we appreciate it. While LA and Henry were working hard on that, Jake and Zayn have been plugging away hard in the background on preparing the T-Rex for playability, and we're super excited to share these updates. Their updates on this progress. So I'm really excited to see that. So we're going to be starting off with Jake showing off the Tyrannosaurus Rex. This month I wrapped up the remainder of the texture work needed for the Tyrannosaurus ontogeny. With the morph targets done, I was now able to go in and bake the high poly texture information from the sculpts I made last month to the new UV maps at each growth stage. Lots of just modeling jargon there, but still important nonetheless. This used to be a very convoluted process for our current morph system, but thanks to some newer developments, it was exceptionally straightforward. So we can see here, this is our ontogeny here. You can see the baby T-Rex going from the juvenile, subadult, and adult. So it was really nice. So from there, I was able to take the models into Substance Painter, I think that is, and begin the painting process. Paying close attention to the wonderful concept art R.J. Palmer produced for us. It was, of course, very nice art. We paid special attention to the patterning during this process. The blending can make the points in between growth stages look quite muddy if the coloration and patterning isn't well considered. We won't know for sure how good it will look until we see its blending in engine. I'm quite pleased with the paint job on these little guys and excited to share it all with you. So look at these. So let's open up these images. So we'll have a look at the baby, juvenile, and subadult. We've already got to go look at the T-Rex. So this is a picture of the juvenile. You can see if you compare it to the concept art from the R.J. Palmer, or the original concept art, you can see he's got a really nice red face here. And these really nice stripes, I think, came out quite well. And you can see that starts to fade as you get into the juvenile. You can see the face is not quite as red, but you still get these quite strong stripes. In the subadult, it becomes much more faded. You can still see a hint of that, but it's generally just much more faded. And then you get into the full-grown adult. So that's pretty cool. So and then we've got Henry. So this is what Henry's been doing. Aside from work done on the most recent patch release since the last devlog and a hotfix, most of my time has been devoted to a long-time back-end wishlist item, replacing our current pathfinding solution with a new library. While it may be uninteresting to most, this is something that really needed to be done and will have some immediate tangible benefits. Among those benefits are behavioral improvements for AI, much less attempting to move on unpathed terrain. So what will happen is that the AI will be much easier able to determine terrain and not be like trying to climb up weird surfaces. It'll find the path of least resistance down places. So Crater Lake would be a great example to see this work with all those slopes. They'll be much easier to climb down and be able to get to the water, so that's good. Also, the significant improvements to the CPU and memory usage as well, so that's always good. That means more power and go to the rest of the game. Also, particularly important here was the removal of an awful memory leak that resulted in our usage of the previous depreciated, I think, whatever the word is, pathfinding library navgrids. So our new library supports nav meshes with functionality that can fully replace the prior's navgrids, meaning that they use much less memory and CPU in addition to avoiding memory leaks with no other major concessions. So basically this means it'll run better just so it doesn't have any memory leaks, or be able to devote more of memory and RAM space and things like that and CPU power into calculating the nav meshes instead of being it leaked, so to speak. This new library has been supported for many years, and I'm optimistic that we won't run into undesirable situations with it like we did the last, while reaping the benefits of the new features at our disposal, so that's very, very good. As of writing, the Pathfinder replacement is mostly done and is expected to be ready for the next patch. While it's not the most dazzling change to the game, I'm hoping it's going to be very positive and needed an impact on its stability going forward. So yeah. See, some of these things that you see, they're not necessarily the most glamorous thing, like new T-Rex growth series and stuff, but things like this are always very important in the back to help the game run better and smoothly, and it's a cool thing that they mention it in, obviously, these devlogs. So we've got another one from Zayn. So, as Jake already mentioned, we've been hard at work on an updated version of the ontogeny system, which is reasonable for handling the changes animal goes through in its lifetime. This includes both visual morphological changes, as well as handling the back-end side of things, like managing the stats and attributes as the animal grows. So this has been on our list for quite some time, as the previous system, as it currently is in game, has shown its age for a while now. One of the major limitations of my old system, in fact, is that it only allowed to morph between two sets of stages, typically from one growth stage to the next adjacent one, such as hatchling to juvenile or subadult to juvenile to subadult, and subadult to adult, and then superadult as you go through it. So it requires a complete swap of core components between the two pairs of growth stages during runtime in order to model the entire ontogeny of a given animal. And while that was fine to get things up and running back then, this has proven to be a major overhead problem in the long run. So with all that in mind, this month I started development on a new ontogeny system from the ground up to address most, if not all, the aforementioned issues. So now with the Tyrannosaurus redesign progressing steadily, we decided to use this opportunity to kickstart a prototype with the Tyrannosaurus providing an adequate testbed. And while it is still in the early prototyping phase, we're happy to show you a glimpse of what it can do today, so we'll have a look after that. To address the major flaws of the previous system, we needed the ability to seamlessly morph through all the growth stages without having to rely on swapping any mesh data, comprising the geometry of the animal, during runtime. In order to do this, we went back to the drawing board and looked at ways to compress all the necessary data into a single mesh. This included all the morph targets responsible for the geometric deformation, to simulate the morphological changes at all given growth stages, as well as the bespoke UV sets or the texture coordinates. So the UV is kind of what goes over the model and tells the textures where it needs to go. And that goes with each growth stage to minimize any visual artifacts that might otherwise occur. And with a little bit of additional shade and magic, we managed to seamlessly blend between multiple growth stages in one go, as you can see in this video below. So we're going to start from the front here. It's a really cool one, so it's high quality. So we'll move from here. No, that's not what we wanted to do. So you can see this is the hatchling with the red head and the white strong stripes. You can see him slowly thin out and move into the juvenile stage. So you can see much leaner face, and then now into the subadult, still getting quite lean growing up, and now you get into the adult where they really thicken up and looks like obviously T-Rex that everyone knows and loves, especially this wonderful model that Saurian has made. I just got to say, so the specimen here is, I think it's based on Chomper, and then put on this one here, but then we've got Zayn model here, so she's a subadult, and then we move into the adult, which is, I believe, is mainly Sue with a stand skull. So we can see there's a lot of, we have a pretty good growth Tyrannosaurus growth series that's gone into informing this. As we know, Saurian is trying to be very paleo accurate, which is very awesome to see. I just got to say, I love this model. I just love it. So nice. And I'm really excited to play as Tyrannosaurus. It's going to be very fun. Can't wait for this game to come out at early access, and then I'll be able to probably play it on the channel. I want to do like a big playthrough. It'll be really cool to see. So yeah, that's wonderful. So now we'll have a quick look through the community spotlight. So you can see this is by Cyberpick. We can see this really nice, I think they've got it on lower settings, but it still looks quite nice with the Dakota Raptor sitting in the corner there. And this is a cute one by Majungabunga. Two little juvenile trikes with dad in the background on a nice day in the swamps by the looks of it. And I like this one. This is by LRNR21. So this is Eaten in the Rain, I love the rain effects. It looks really nice. Another one with a T-Rex in the corner there while a juvenile Dakota Raptor runs around and tries to avoid getting eaten by VP. I'll just call you VP. So yeah, that is the end of today's devlog. Really nice devlog. I'm really excited to see progress on the Tyrannosaurus. I think getting the Tyrannosaurus out is going to be a big boost in the game, get some more attention on it. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how it goes from here, because Saurian's been a bit of a slog, but a game that I've always been keenly looking at and been involved in, so it's really excited to see progress coming back again. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys like and subscribe. Always remember to click that little bell icon to get notified when I upload anything. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like and subscribe, and bye-bye.